So Agent Orange said that he now has a hub for this mass deportation. And that first hub is going to be Dade County in Miami. Ain't no better place to start. So Agent Orange, gracias. I appreciate the information.
Welcome to the continuation of FAFO, where the lepers continue to eat people's faces. While they may be on the other side of the border, we need to take heed and learn, so we don't make the same mistakes right here at home. Don't mind these so-called American patriots. Yeah, totally not a cult, right? As they target hard-working immigrants working on Home Depot. It's interesting to see how much free time these so-called patriots have. And it's interesting that the Cubans that voted for Trump, as Trump is eyeing Miami for his nasty hub of deportation.
They always voted against their own interests, baby, because they love being in the proximity of white. Baby, those incentives they had for Cubans when your little zapatos touched the American soil and you was considered an American once you made it to land, we rolling that back. Just like Walmart rolling back their DEI, we rolling back that too. You understand me?
Looks like Miami has entered the find out phase. So it's being reported that Miami-Dade County is going to be ground zero for the Orange Man's deportation program. Now, if you didn't know, Miami-Dade County has a 70% Hispanic population. This fact helped the Orange Man win the county by 11 percentage points. It's like the first time a Republican has won Miami-Dade County since 1988. Now, it makes sense for this program to start in Miami-Dade County because, honestly, Miami-Dade probably has the most deportation cases that are open in the whole country. And truth be told, Miami has a large concentration of immigrants. That's just a fact. Immigrants that are documented and undocumented. And chances are, if you live in Miami, you probably know someone who's undocumented. It's just unavoidable. But just to be clear, this whole program is not just going to target people that are undocumented. It also is going to target people that are on DACA. It's going to target people with temporary protected status. It's going to target people seeking asylum. And keep in mind, those people aren't illegal, but for the simple fact that those programs that they're trying to use will be taken away or expired. And with those programs being taken away or expired, now you are technically undocumented. Now it's estimated that there are approximately 1.1 million people who are living in the state of Florida undocumented. That's about 5% of the population of the entire state. And so you already have economists talking about how this is going to negatively impact the economy of the state of Florida. And if you remember a year or two ago, the governor here implemented something on a smaller scale with a law that he implemented that caused a lot of the immigrant community to leave the state, which caused a shortage of labor. And we have more jobs available than actual people to work those jobs here. And when this program is implemented, that's only going to exacerbate the situation. And it also mentions how in this article that there were certain exceptions as far as like when you could like do quote unquote raids, as far as like schools were protected, hospitals, places of worship, etc. When this program is implemented, all those exceptions for safe spaces are going to be eliminated. So meaning your child could be, in the middle of a math lesson, and all of a sudden you got ICE at the elementary school doors coming to take them away. And don't think this is just going to affect a certain group of immigrants. It's going to affect everyone, whether you are Haitian, whether you're Venezuelan, whether you're Nicaraguan. It doesn't matter. Like if you're here undocumented or you're here trying to go through the proper channels and you haven't been able to achieve a certain status yet, it's going to affect you. And it's going to have a greater impact on the economy because, again, you're eliminating a large percentage of the workforce. And like I said, we're at a point now where we have more jobs than people to work them. And if you think that a certain group of people are going to get out here and work these jobs that these immigrants are working, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell you.
Am I the a-hole for canceling a 6-figure plumbing job because of MAGA? I recently canceled a 6-figure plumbing job because the plumber I was looking at hiring flew the Trump flag in his truck after the election. I have a large plumbing job I'm trying to do for a cannabis farm. It requires a ton of work to be done, but especially running the plumbing for the plants, feed room, etc, etc. I have had 6 or 7 meetings with the guy going over the project in detail. Dosing systems are particularly complicated and require significant planning to get right. Unfortunately, after seeing his support for Trump, I decided doing business together wouldn't work. As a veteran, anyone who votes for Trump is spitting in my face and betrays everything I stand for. It's not a matter of political disagreements, it's value and morals. I do my best in life not to be a rank hypocrite, and so as soon as I saw that he was a Trump cultist, I told him it wouldn't work. He of course was extremely angry and threatened to sue. I told him he was more than welcome to file suit and that no contract has been signed. I also told him that I will file a countersuit to recover the legal fees for filing a frivolous lawsuit. Meanwhile, I've also found found out that several of his workers are, in fact, undocumented. I wish I could say I was surprised, but MAGA and functional intelligence are not things you find together, ever. Am I the a-hole? Sure. I'm willing to bet tons of MAGA sycophants will say I am. But frankly, I couldn't care less. I do everything possible to make sure my time and money doesn't go towards supporting fascists and fascism. Salty Pikachu 12 replies, your plumbing, your choice. You know what? Well done to this gentleman. I hope more and more people follow suit. Isn't it funny that the MAGA crowd always goes back to, I'm gonna sue you, like it's one of the main go-tos. And we have more good news. Independent media such as the Midas Touch is skyrocketing, while legacy media like Fox News and Forbes continue to bleed. Honestly, I'm here for it. Even here with CTV News, which is owned by Bell Media, has been terrible. I also like to give some honorable mentions such as The Tabernacle, The Humanist Report, BJ Miller, and of course Hassan Reactions. And to top it off, Late Night with Seth Meyers. Really great content creators. And while Walmart is rolling back their progressive policies, which to me is not surprising, Walmart has always been a very awful company. Aldi, however, is not going to tolerate any kind of discrimination or hate, and even has better prices. And it looks like Elon Musk is having a bad week after a Delaware judge rejected his multi-billion-dollar compensation package, which Musk was scheduled to receive from Tesla. Isn't it interesting this billionaire is always taking handouts? The United States Senate has also confirmed Biden's ethics czar for 5 years, including under Trump. He's going to be seeing all ethics concerns under the Trump administration. Something tells me he's going to be a very busy man. Straight from the Leprous Ate My Face subreddit, this post comes from concerned MAGA supporters in Georgia. Trump voter delusions never cease to amaze me, so the town overwhelmingly backs Trump, whose central campaign promise, repeated ad nauseum, is to deport all immigrants who do not have legal status to be here. 11 million of them. And so now the town is realizing that losing workers without legal status would devastate its economy. They're betting, praying that Trump won't deport their illegals because they don't cause any trouble. I'm sorry, didn't you listen to any of his million speeches about mass deportation? Did you hear any loopholes for those who don't cause any trouble? Because if that's the new standard, no deportation if you're not causing any trouble. Then 99% plus people here without documentation can stay. Well, sorry to say, Dalton, but you voted for your own economic demise. And there are countless other Daltons around the country realizing they're in the same boat. Good luck. I'm sure there will be plenty of homegrown real Americans lining up to take those jobs.
Wait, so y'all thought they was deporting criminals? Illegally being in America is a crime. Y'all thought the criminals was us. Y'all thought it was us. No, it's y'all.
Someone that I know, love, and care about, but haven't spoken to in many years is in desperate need of an organ. They are indeed MAGA. Many years ago, me and this individual, we did have an argument on social media about their support for MAGA. In early October, this individual began asking for donors. And the same day I heard is the same day that I filled out the application. After you fill out the application, you are then paired with a transplant nurse coordinator who kind of takes you through a process of elimination to see if you are a match. In the beginning of this process, I was very gung-ho about it. Like, my attitude was like, you need an organ, I got an organ, so I got you. But the more that I talked to the nurse and the more information that they were emailing me, it got very real. I started to realize that your body, mentally and physically, it takes a toll. I started to be concerned about my finances. I started to worry about my recovery and hoping that it would go as planned. I started to worry about if there were complications, maybe long-term complications. Would insurance, would it cover it? Even though I had second thoughts about the process, I was still leaning toward doing it. Now keep in mind, the recipient, I don't think that they ever knew that I was going through the process at all. I never spoke to them throughout this process. My plan was to drop my organ and just keep it moving. So now we come to the part of the process where I need to schedule my physicals, and this is where they determine whether or not I am a match. And it is 2 days worth of physicals where I will meet with surgeons. I'll do blood work, x-rays, EKG, MRI, CT scans. It's a lot. It's intense. And this is around the same time that Donald Trump wins this election. And so now I really start to second guess this whole process and whether I want to do it. With the way that Trump has already removed access to women's health care, with the way that in his previous term, his administration tried to repeal the ACA over 40 times, and he has promised to continue trying to dismantle the ACA in his current term, I do not know what insurance coverage will look like under a second Donald Trump term. And I am not at all confident that if I do go through this process and I, for whatever reason, experience complication, that I will get the medical treatment that I need and that it will be covered under insurance. As a result of that Donald Trump win, my concerns for my finances, for my health, my recovery, and my insurance skyrocketed. So as a result of that, on November 10th, I decided to remove myself from the living donor process. I just felt like it would be very dangerous for me to undergo any medical procedures at a time when our medical services are being taken away from us and our insurance is being dismantled by the incoming MAGA administration. This whole situation is extremely unfortunate, and I do love and care about the person needing the organ, and I really hope that they find a donor. The best of luck to them.
And if you made it to the end of this video, thanks for watching. Go check out some of my other videos on the channel. Like and subscribe, and always stay